click the button, start. Hello everyone, this is TechStack here. Gonna have a coding stream tonight. Need to work through some issues, need to record some issues, and go from there. So, awesome. We need to put on here that there is an issue with the way that buildings are placed. So building placement ignores entities in the build area and will suffocate them. Prevent this. Because that's a very cheaty tactic that some people have used to allow them to kill enemies, groups of enemies. Okay. Now that's taken care of. Let's go, well, I guess I need this over here. Let's go ahead and take a look at our project first. I don't know that there's anything of... Yeah, there's nothing on our to-do list in the project, because we need to add some stuff. Yes, there is a project or in progress, but that's kind of a distraction from the main objective of trying to release this mod. Let's try and get this mod out the door. So, in order to get the mod out the door, there's a few things that we need to do. Let's take a look at our milestones. I don't know that our milestones are set up properly all the way, but we will take a look here. Tribal theming, siege workshop structure, and armory. I think those are all assigned to CZ, so we can ignore that. Release candidate 1, wiki, that's CZ. Resource production structure rates. That is something we certainly need to consider. Check balance of the structures and unit costs, so definitely need to do that. Not sure that's good for tonight though. Lance rebalance. We did try this a little bit earlier. We made them stronger. They could probably use another buff, to be honest, beyond what we were doing earlier. We'll leave that there. Marketplace, structure, mechanics. Marketplace might not be a bad idea, but we don't have a structure to play with. Do we have a block in the game? I can't remember. Because the block will be needed for... It is not. So we need a block. Let's take a look at that. We'll need a block for the thing. Basic marketplace mechanic exchange rate. Let's edit this. Market block. So we need a... Gotta do it right. So that's gonna be a bulleted list. There we go. Checkbox, okay. So block needed. Builder item needed. Okay, that should take care of it then. Okay, cool. Siege weapons, trebuchet and battering ram. We could work on the model for a battering ram. That could be kind of fun. Trebuchet animations need to be worked. Reference trebuchets for siege for targets up to 300 meters away, 1 block, 1 meter. I'm throwing something heavy. Now we're not going to be able to do it that far for realistic purposes in Minecraft, because throwing something 300 meters is probably gonna cause loading of chunks and be an issue, right? It won't actually load work, basically. It'll be out of loaded chunks and won't go through. This is a minor issue, but an important issue to get fixed. So if you are not on the team, sorry, if you're not the producer for that unit from the team, even if you're on the same team, it won't show it highlighted. So let's see if we can fix that one. It's probably a lot of tedious work, but it is an important one. So unit entity, its glowing effect method is glowing. Is currently looking to see if it's got the owner's name in there. We need to not mess this up. We need to switch that up a bit. So it's looking for the player's selections. We still need to look at the player's selections. And if it's not null, okay, we're going to loop through all of those player selections. If the selected unit is not null, then It's looking to see if the ID of this entity matches the ID of the player's selections. Why isn't this working? This should work. So it's looking at the player's selections if it contains the owner's name. And it's getting selected units. It's not actually looking to see if the owner is the same team or anything. It's just looking to see if you got it selected. So it must not even be selected correctly. Huh. Yeah, that's weird. Wait, owner name is the name. Oh. Shoot. That's completely different. That is just got a lot more complicated because we are looking at the owner of the troop, the unit. That owner is a player's name, basically. And that player's name is what's in the player selections on the client side. Yep, that one's gotten delayed. That's not going to be a quick fix at all. Complex. I'm going to put a note here. To fix. Need time to design this. A proper solution. Okay, so that was everything for Release Candidate 1 that we just quickly blew through, I know, because I'm just trying to get myself refreshed, whatever's left, and then post-release items. Yeah, there's some items that are not showing up on these projects, I don't think. Pikeman bounce and renerf, Lancers rebalance, building protection around Town Hall. That is an important one to me. But the marketplace structure, let's work on this one. Build the block and the item. Sorry, I had to sneeze. So let's get a marketplace into the game. So we're going to base it off of some other block. Let's base it off the gate block. Marketplace. Okay, when we do that, we're going to get a register name. Marketplace block. There we go. So that gives us a name that we will call it by. We'll put that in here on our marketplace. Yep. We'll keep the horizontal facing stuff like we have for all of these blocks because it doesn't really matter much. We want to change this to a marketplace. Style already. And so should this be. And this. None of that applies. It kind of applies. We'll call it market. We will have a GUI to open here. Open the GUI. To do. Open the GUI. Block activated. Increase counts of this type. I think we've got a similar. No, we don't. That's right. That was an old thing we don't do anymore. Okay, this is going to give us errors because the marketplace tile doesn't exist yet. We need to create it. Before we can create that, though, we need to create the block itself in init mod blocks. And in here, we can copy pretty much any of these and put in the proper name. Market. Oh, right. I need to put down here first. Marketplace block. There we go. capital P, please. Okay, and we can take... Ah, really? Got the wrong one. Here we go. I think that's what we need. It might be the other one, I don't know. We do need to register tile entity as well. Marketplace. Place. There we go. Market. Place block. And this is where we had the tile already in. So this gets everything registered on the loading of the game. We should be all set though. Okay. So now we need a item for the builder item. We'll base it off of, I guess, the gate again. Well, we won't know this time the size of this thing at all or anything like that, but that'll be okay. Marketplace builder item. And we change this to gate. Or, no. Create a new one of these. That in here. Hello.
Hey, I've got a quick question.
Sure.
If I've got a JSON file that has like the brackets and everything in it, do those actually need to be spaced out on lines in like an editor, or can they just be in one single line?
For readability, I'd put them on different lines. It makes it a lot easier to understand what's going on in the file.
Okay, but Minecraft will read it correctly if it's all in one line.
Probably, but I've never done it that way. So like, if you're watching the stream, I've got one open here.
Yeah, I saw it. It came through a generator, and this is how it came out. So
okay,
I'm
that's probably good.
It'll accept
yeah.
it. Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. I don't know if that's the right volume for that. Where's the music? So now we need to get a health setup for the configs for the marketplace. So I'm gonna copy that, go here, find this version of it, put in our variable, and grab that stuff. There we go, marketplace. Marketplace. That's not right. All those say Lance and they're not right. So we'll leave it at 400, maybe not. What's like, say the research center? It's at 40. We'll put it at 40. Sure. Okay. That's got its own thing now, okay? Now we need to set up a cost for it. So cost buildings, cost gates, so marketplace. And we'll grab this version, go to there. It is referenced here. Just grab that whole thing. That. Get rid of the word string. There we go. That converts it from the string that's going to be in the file into the actual variables in my resource array or resource values setup. And then the other places things used down here, grab that name again. And this is where we actually read it from the config file. So take all that, put it in there, call it marketplace. Gate building costs, so marketplace. And let's take a look at the RTSCraft spreadsheet. Get our costs from here. Marketplace. Marketplace down here. We don't have any costs defined, so let's set some up. Pull numbers out of our butt. 250. Stone. 50. 50. 100 gold. 10 diamonds, 0 emeralds. So that sets up our string there. We'll plug in said string on the right line here. Boom. Oh right, it wants the slashes and everything in there. Okay. So now we have a marketplace value to use in the other class that we were just working with. Okay, so we can get the resource cost, we can get the structure health. It's got the incorrect names for everything, that's fine. We can't fix that, okay. Let's now grab this and add it to the init items. This should be error free, I think, when we're done. Let's do that, and marketplace. Right. So sample item, marketplace. Let's put this up with other builder items, I guess. Okay, it needs to be market. Place builder item. Cool, and then we just take this and I think we register down below. So let's see where we registered at. Down there. Okay, that takes care of the item. We need to add the tile entity next so that we can get rid of the errors and everything. So let's go off of the gate again. This one, we're gonna copy that class, call it marketplace. And it's going to a gate, but we need it to go to this instead. So if we go back to mod blocks, save now on that line, hopefully. It imports it, so that gets rid of the errors there. Marketplace entity. This is on the open of a gate, we don't need that. Gate update, we don't need that. Close, we don't need that. And structure type, let's go ahead and add in the marketplace if we don't already have one. Mine sites. Emerald, Research Center, Stables, Walk. Okay, so we'll add Marketplace. Comma. And we're going to add this in here as well. Team options. Okay, so that goes back into here. And this needs to say Marketplace. After death. This is to kill all the blocks for those special ones that have multiple blocks that get killed from one. This is not going to be one of those. So is open is not a thing with this one. So we can get rid of this open and close code for toggle open and this code. Save everything. Increasing counts of gates this time, so we need to look at that method and see if we've got something in here for Marketplace. I doubt that we do. We don't. Okay, so we need to start adding that. Hey, Andrew. So let's add the private int marketplace equals 0. And we need to create the setters and getters for this. There we go. So how's the game coming, man? I know you've been working away on it. Are you getting burnt out on it yet? Right? It's something easy to do when you work on something that much and that long. So set, and then we need to set marketplace here. And that means we need to get marketplace as well, because we're adding one to the whatever that variable is. And subtracting it here. And we've got a map structure data. We're getting the structure type, we should be fine there. So we're just telling the map structure data that this block of this type is at this location, that's all. We no longer need this, because that's not going to be called anymore. And get direction probably doesn't matter either. Hello.
Hello.
Barbara Walters.
Hello. We're done playing Casual Crashers.
Okay. That didn't last very long.
We were playing for a while.
Oh, okay.
Like, me and Zach were playing for a little while, and then Reaper showed up, and, you know, we played together for a little while then. And then you finally showed up, and I was like, oh, yeah.
Sorry to burst your bubble.
No, that's alright.
I've played like an hour maybe of Boneworks when it came out. That's about the only game I've played in the last 10 months. Other than this. Other than what I'm working on. Last 2 months, I guess. 10 months. Okay, so that should make the marketplace block and item a thing in the game. Let's try playing the game. I had fun playing earlier with you guys. That match was fun. You really surprised me with those errors too.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna have arrows, everything else, you might as well make them rain down.
Yeah, And you definitely did.
Now, just imagine that's going to be on my door from now on.
Oh, you just gonna keep it there, huh? We need a flatter map then, so you can't do that. At least it's obvious that it's there. So when it's up from above, you just don't see it. Oh no, it crashed. Until they're in your face, basically. Cost client path. What? Why'd that crash? Ticking memory connection, blah blah blah. So down here, somewhere. On entity join world. You need to be puzzled why that's airing off. Is that? I wonder if I didn't set it right in the config then, potentially. Marketplace cost. Yeah, we're setting the cost. Send cost packet to client.
What does the marketplace add?
It'll be a place for you to trade, basically. Oh, that's right. I didn't add it in here. So
Hello.
give it this default. That's what's wrong. Hi, Jack. That's what's wrong. Somewhere there'll be one that says marketplace. There we go. And then we return the config for the marketplace. Marketplace. Now we should load. Or at least get past the error message. Man, tomorrow's the first day back to work after 2 weeks of being off. It's gonna be rough.
You'll be okay, Tech.
I don't know. I can't work on the mod tomorrow. Not till like late at night. Gonna go for withdrawals, man. Okay. Do we have the new items and blocks? Load, load, load. Oh, it's this world. Oopsie. Just a few watchtowers. And a few entities. Crap. Let's kill those entities. Type equals minion. Okay, so new items. Workshop, marketplace builder item, and marketplace block. Awesome. Builder item makes the gate because that's what we based it off of. That's fine. Cool. No crashes. That's what I wanted. Probably should set up the JSON files just so they're there. do that. Block states, space it off the gate again. Marketplace block. And we need to search for gate block in here. Place it with marketplace block. Okay, and then models block. Marketplace block. It's really only the two pieces that we need to change. Because something like a mine site is going to have the town hall down before it's down. In fact, everything will have that except for the gate, because the gate has a different texture on its bottom than everything else. Everything else is the town hall block on its sides, and just the top is different. Wait a minute. Yeah, that's right. It's different. The top is different, because it's the one specific for that block. Okay, so let's get the other flavors of it. One for green. Guess I need to change all of these this way doing it. Change yellow to green. Save. Red. Oops. Save. Change. Okay, that should take care of all the block stuff. Marketplace block. And the builder item. F3T. And we should get all the sides of the block showing on both of these items except for the top. That'll be a missing texture still. And we get just that. Cool. So next up we need to give it a name in the language file. And the other item as well. Oops. There she be. And that should automatically refresh now with my setting in Eclipse. So I can refresh and get names on these. And we have names. Okay, I think that might be as far as I can take the marketplace piece. Let's take a look at the issue and see if there's anything I'm missing here. Oops, wrong window. Blocks needed, builder item needed, marketplace block state model and JSON item files, all good to go. That's probably as far as I can take it without an actual building to start testing with. We'll need to implement the GUI, of course, so I guess we should add that on this. Let's just do another checkbox button. Needs GUI. Or just say marketplace GUI. Because you need a way to interact with it. Okay, I'm going to commit this up and reference that issue number. So, marketplace block item JSON files, not just a block. No functions yet. Okay, and commit, push. Now there was one issue I noticed earlier today that I don't think I documented, which was when you go to the gate, it opens up an extra GUI. And it shouldn't do that. So the super on block activated is being called, which opens the GUI. Okay, so we need to somehow either override that completely or something. Let's do this. And T is not an instance of gate calendar. So that should fix the gate from having an extra opening screen. Oh, let's test it first. I got it open here. There we go. No more having to close the GUI. There's no need to turn off a gate. It just doesn't have a function. Cool. Fixed gate opening a GUI instead of closing the gate with no GUI. So that'll help there. Let's use our Photoshop man. Next. Come on. So here's our picture of a population cap icon. So if we save this as, go to TSRTS, sources, main, resources, assets, textures, GUI. We can save it in here as a PNG file. PopCap icon. Save, okay. Close the game because it's going to force us to restart anyway with what I'm about to do. go to the overlay, render overlay, and where we're doing the drawing of the person, not the person, the pop cap right here. So we're rendering an item and effect onto the GUI. So it's not exactly what we need to do. We first need the texture loaded, so let's do that. So that is the texture name. It's going to be in the same location as one of the other ones. So we just do this. Pop cap, what we'll call it. For population cap. And we need to bind that texture somehow. Like this. Okay, and this is rendering the texture. Let's see if we can do the same. It's rendering it from the left, the top, which should be 0 and 0 and 16, 16. Okay, cool. Oh wait, is that something specific, isn't it? That's not what I need, I don't think, but we'll try it. I think these positions are where we want it to render at, which should help because we want to render it at X. And 4, then we'll try it. I think it's going to render in slightly the wrong spot because this X is probably not the right spot at that point. It's probably going to be over the text if we do that. We'll need to move the text over some because it's also rendering it at the X coordinate. Probably 16. Oops, hit my keyboard. Okay, while this is also rendering up or bringing up the screen here, we need to figure out where it's doing this for spectators. Because it does it different if you're in spectator mode, and I can't find it right at the moment. Back. Bye, Reaver. Here we go. So this is when you have a hotbar, it's rendering that. This is when you have something else, and you're in spectator. Okay. So we need to do this down here in the spectator code inside of a for loop for each team. That's the resource length. This is for the teams. So we're going to do it, say, here. That should do. So is this going to work is the question, I guess. Interesting, we got the icon in the right size, but it's not the right picture. What the heck? Oh, I grabbed the wrong location. I was grabbing the Siege Workshop one. We want the overlay stuff. Dang, we'll have to restart Minecraft for that. Let's make sure that is saved in that location as well. Textures, GUI. Yeah, it's not in the overlay. It needs to be in the overlay folder. Well, phooey. Let's restart one more time. Okay. Single plow. Okay, we have our person icon there. I think we can actually bump that to the left a bit. Red. Ready. It's ugly as all get out too, so that's cool. Let's see, pop cap, blah blah blah. We're moving it to the left by 10. Let's move it 16 to the left, I think. That's better. That means that this X needs to be moved to over another 16 as well, I think, because that needs room for the text itself to fit. Well, let's do that by calculating the text width. There is a way that we can do that. Get string text width, there we go. Set that there. This is going to give this an error, of course. I think that'll be okay if we get rid of it though, so we will grab our text here. String pop cap text equals that. Pop cap text. We know the width, and we can adjust as needed. So X minus that. And that lines it up to the right of this thing. Let's actually flip these around. I think for the pop cap, we're going to draw the picture after it. So our X position of where we're actually drawing the pop cap needs to stay at X. And we'll have X plus the text width. Oops. Plus sign. When it catches up. Okay, that's better. We need to add like 2 or 3 pixels to it. Just for a buffer. Okay. How's that fit when we start scaling stuff down? It sometimes doesn't. We need to figure out where the center point of the screen is more accurately than we are right now to fix that. But first, let's take this junk and put it down into here. And go to spectator mode. Okay, so we get our text for each one multiple times as it should, but only one icon for some reason, which is interesting, probably because we're saying at 4. We need to get the Y value instead. Okay, that puts our icons in an appropriate location. I think for this one though, we're going to put this on the left-hand side potentially. So now we can get the text width of the name and align them there. Nah, let's just add to the X. So X equals X plus, I don't know, 50. It's probably way too much. It's not too bad actually. So now in spectator mode, you can see how many each team has for troops. Okay, and I think let's try one more thing because I like it being in there in spectator mode, but I think we want to not always show it. And a way to accomplish that is what? We can have a hotkey that only displays it or that toggles it on and off. That could be cool. Let's try that. So where is our client piece? Client event handler. And we should have a key handler somewhere in here. Select units in the bounding box. Is key pressed? I think our control key, though, is not bound to anything. Control modifier. Left control key. So where are we checking that at? Is down, is down, is down. So let's do this. The bottom of this. What's that if statement there start at? Let's put it at the top. So we got a reference to a valid player. So if Minecraft get instance player well, control's not the best key for this, is it? Does you use control to change your speed in spectator, or no? No, you just use the scroll wheel. Okay, so control will work. Player dot is spectating. If you're spectating, then we're going to take that if control modifier is down, is pressed. So you press the control key. And we have lots of static variables already in this, so it's not going to hurt anything to put another one here. So public, static, not final, boolean, toggle, what's it going to be called? Toggle info, display info. And it will be set to true by default. Yes, terminate. Dang it. And we're going to say toggle display info equals toggle display info, but not toggle display info. So every time you press it, it's going to go on or off. And in our render code then, where we're doing spectator mode, we can do one more check, and client events dot toggle display info. So if that is true, we will display the overlay. If it's not, we will not display the overlay. This gives us the option of turning off the thing for cinematic purposes, or for times when you want to see the tab screen or something like that. You can turn it off, see the tab screen, who's in the game, who's on what team, turn it back on. Cool boy. So let's give this a try. Single player, this one. Whatever color, doesn't matter. Ready, start. Okay, so we got it on. Hit control, it goes away. Hit control again, it comes back. Press the tab screen if there was a multiplayer. I think that's good to go. So let's go out of spectator now. Still get the bar at the top. It's for our team. I think we're ready. I think it's good. I probably will end up changing the icon a bit for the person, because I don't particularly like it, but it's the best I got for the moment. Let's leave this level, go back into the level. Now that we're in the right mode, and we're not in spectator, we can actually start a match. Ready, start. Okay, that's what I wanted to see. The 1200 got bigger and bumped over the icon. So now let's try and recruit some troops. So that number starts going way up, and it bumps it over more. Cool. So if we get 1200 in there, let's try and max this thing out. I need to turn this on infinite mode, so I don't need to sit there and spam that. There we go. We will get to 1200 pretty stinking quick, because there is so many barracks in this world. Let's make sure they're all loaded here. Yeah, they should be now. Just imagine somebody trying to put down this many barracks in a real game. I mean, it's like seconds and you have an army. Already got 400, almost. 450. 500. It's like 50 in a couple seconds. So I'm going to do this and then hit F12 or F3N to go spectator mode again and see. So I can do it now. You can see that the figures are going up there. Now for some reason, my first one in here is flashing back and forth on and off. Okay, so it does properly bump over based on the size of the text, and that's what I wanted to see. So we get that little population cap icon showing the correct spot. Yeah, the HUD at the top of the screen, you can turn it on and off when you're spectator mode and see all of the team's stats, basically, what it's for. Or you can, when you're in actually playing, it shows you the stats at the top. I think that's a done deal for right now. So, GitHub. Added pop cap icon and made spectator stats able to toggle on/off with control key. Boink. Here we go. Tell you, a big part of me wants to work on something that's not even on our to-do list for the release. I know that's wrong. Let's take a few minutes here and bring up my spreadsheet of the mod and look at the resources and see if we can glean any insights to what things should cost more realistically, so that the barracks isn't able to be spammed with 15 of them in a few seconds time, even early to early mid game. Late game maybe, but early to mid game it doesn't make a lot of sense. So these are our production rates. The town hall is at 5, 5, 5, and 1, 1, I believe, right now. So our gold production is at 4. Gold production feels like it's actually a limiting thing in the game, and that's a good thing. What I want to have happen is we buy something, it doesn't feel like it's cheap to buy. Like it feels like we should have just enough resources all the time. I know it's hard to accomplish probably. But that's where it should be. Let's see, let's do some math here. So, in order to buy this line, so it's in order to buy this line, how many seconds, or how many 10-second periods does it take for...
Okay.
How many times do we have to have this down, or how many of these do we have to have? Yeah, how many lumberyards do we have to have down? Or how many times do we have to wait if we only have one down? I'm going to ignore the town hall rates because that's just a baseline, right? So we're going to go with this. So if we had one... Why do I have this open twice? If we had one lumberyard down, it would take us 2 seconds, over 2 seconds, to buy a farm. So that's what I'm trying to say, I guess. So RTS ticks at 1 production building. Okay, let's do this. RTS ticks at 1 production building. To buy this in... This is wood, or food. Actually, we can take this. There we go. Let's make these all smaller then. And we'll merge this. And can we wrap it as well? Sure we can, I just don't know where it is. Text wrapping. Okay, so this is going to be this value divided by, over here would be this value divided by this. And that's a constant 0.5 or a constant 5. So it'll take 0 seconds to get that 0 food, that makes sense. And it'll take 2 seconds to get to this one, or 2 ticks to get to that one. That all sounds good. So 22 divided by 5 is 4.4, that sounds about right. Okay. Now, should we add in the town hall to these rates? Probably, so let's do that as well. So that's going to be a plus that field, and that's going to be a constant in both ways. So for the row and the column. No, not the column. Okay. So it takes 1 tick then. Now to take these across and down. Getting lots of division by zeros because there's 0 here. Hello.
Yeah, I'm just lingering for a moment.
You're so quiet, man. I can't even understand what you said.
Had my hand on my face.
quieter than my music's. Fire, can you understand him?
How about that?
Getting better.
This is a weird headset.
There we go. So that'd be
That's like as close as it goes, I think.
3 seconds. Right, so we need to adjust this for each row then, for each column. So that purple value needs to be not 5, but 6. And then this is 7. There we go.
I am going to send you a link to this completed map.
Okay.
It has the golem in it with the custom loot table also. Should work.
There we go. And then if I add another column here that does a max across the row, max. Perfect. So now we get a feel for how long it actually takes to make something with one building. So the Siege Workshop is going to be costly. It'll be 25 RTS ticks. So take that times 10, divide that by a minute, and by 60 to get minutes. So this times 10 divided by 60. That's how many minutes it takes. Minutes to afford. I guess is probably a better name. At 1 per production building plus town hall. Okay, and let's get this into a reasonable formatting number. Oops. This way. Three minutes for the marketplace, which isn't even really in the game yet. 3.5 minutes for our watchtower. Okay. And I wonder if there's a way I can highlight what's max here on each of these. Probably. It's actually the diamonds. What is this building? A warehouse that doesn't exist. No, Siege Workshop, okay. Siege Workshop. Let's go ahead on these ones. These probably are not going to be in the game anytime soon. Let's strike them through so there's no confusion. Siege Workshop, huh? Makes sense that would be expensive, time-wise. The thing is, we need to try to get an average of these resource per building spots that we can produce on a map. So the other guy, I will try and check that out. I just probably can't check it out right now while I'm streaming because I'm trying to do something different. I don't know if you can hear me or not, so you're muted in Discord, but if you have an image of it, include an image in a file called map.png and a text file in the folder called description.txt, because we're going to be using those two things as part of the bot. And it'll just help us know a little bit more about the map when we're trying to choose a map from the bot later down the road. It's like
Did I just not hear something?
Potentially. I didn't know if you were watching the stream, that's why I was talking to you.
I was like, I went to the stream, muted it, and just came back.
Okay. So what I was
might be, yeah.
what I was saying was the way we're setting up our bot, and again, the maps we're gonna play mostly are gonna be the just a couple maps for testing purposes. We will have some fun nights where we'll probably play some other maps just because. But the main testing ones kind of need to be the same map, so we can get a baseline with the same map every time as we're adjusting resource rates and things like that. We need to kind of get a feel for how the game's
Standardized.
playing against the baseline that's not changing, right, of the map. So there's that. But if you're going to send maps, try and include a map.png file that's an image of the map that we can show in the bot once we get the bot all the way working. And then a text file called description.txt that'll be what will show someone ask the bot for more information about the map. Because we're going to send the image and the contents of that text file. Is the idea.
Do you want those within the actual maps folder or just alongside it?
Yeah, in the maps folder. Because what I'll do is I'll
just highest level within the folder.
Yeah, whatever your top folder is for your maps, like your world name's going to be Dark Force, let's say. That should be the folder name. And inside that folder, there should be the maps.png file, which is just the image from like above of the map. You know, if it's a world painter map, that the world painter image is fine. And then the description.txt file, which is just something about the text with the first line being the name of the map. Because what we're going to have is a command that says next map or info about the next map or something like that, right? And it'll tell us the image and the text that's in that file.
Okay. I'll just do it right there for now.
It doesn't need to be like a novel about it either. Just whatever you want to say about it.
Yeah, I'll just
with the name. Like we put the
25
name
or something.
and like I put silly text after that just for testing. Like one of the maps Gazer made was like slots, fort, linked, and then some other words. So I just like SFLA. That's kind of a long, silly name. You know, just something stupid, basically. So anything you want to say about it? I think Gazer had mentioned he was gonna, as when he starts doing it, he'll put like the size of the map and how many players it's intended for and stuff like that. You know, actual useful information compared to what I did. Come on, stone. I just want to get counts of buildings. That's all I'm in here for. How many buildings can you get down realistically?
Oops, did I just put that in my resource packs folder? Yep.
Farms, just assume they're infinite. There will never be a limitation on this map. Can have as much food as we want.
Probably just encounter space limitations on the...
Right. It's not going to be the bottleneck on this map. For how much food you have.
Huh.
Unless we
Alright,
drastically
yeah.
change
The
costs.
golem spawns and everything on this.
Cool. There's no way to get more than one out of this, why I did that. Okay. I put one there. Put one there we go. And then one there. But not one there. It's a bad spot.
If I just pull up a barracks in a single player world, will it work?
In survival or creative?
In creative.
You can certainly place it down. Like when you log into your single player world, you need to choose a team.
Yep.
Just like you do on the server, and then you should be good to go. You'll need
And I
the
can just go to
resources
creative
to.
and they'll work.
Yeah, it'll work.
I'll
You'll...
need the resources. Okay, wait. Yeah.
Yeah, but the town hall
just wanna
produces
see-
resources, so if you spam a bunch of town
I
halls,
only need a little bit. Oh, okay.
So spam a bunch of town halls. I think by default it produces 5 of each resource except for gold and diamonds. And then it produces one.
Not town hall control, right?
Yeah, so when you're in creative, if you hit E and there's all the tabs across the top, go to the very last tab. That's the one that actually spawns the whole structure, not just the block.
Okay. Thanks.
The blocks tab is the block inside of that structure, which is what we use to build the structure. So really, it's only us that needs that block to be placed ever.
Yeah, this is definitely better than the desert one.
Cool. Is it smaller?
It is significantly smaller.
Okay.
The map that we played on, well, the last map that I played on, which was like the Division one, I think. It's similar in size to that. It has an additional gold vein in each quadrant, but it's actually probably less space than that.
Okay. Oh, don't be like me and overwrite your world by playing it in survival. Just to mess around.
I kept the
the
zip
original?
on my
Okay.
desktop so that I
Cool.
can't. Yeah, because I did that the first time.
Same here. When I made Oasis and we went to play it the first time, loaded it up, and I was like,
And there
oh,
was- yeah.
there's yellow. Okay, almost done here.
So I can access. Yeah. I can create units through the town hall.
Yeah, the Y menu still works. You can do all that. That's how I test everything before I release it to this test server. When I'm developing it, I just go in creative and spawn stuff in. You still need to put down research centers to research stuff, 'cause you can't just buy it for free when you're creative, but...
I want to see how many minions it'll take to kill this golem.
Oh, okay.
'Cause,
Well,
like, I don't want it to be like 10, because then you could easily just rush it, like without having much infrastructure.
yeah.
But I also don't want it to be like raid boss Gordon, where you just collapse your entire army.
That's what I want to use. The configs you have on your version of the mod is what the defaults coming out of the mod are for now. It's not necessarily what's on the server. We change the configs on the server to do what we need, and then come back later and we'll update the defaults. So you might be playing with slightly different configs, is what I'm saying. And that includes what's the strength of the mobs are, like our units are.
The minions.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
So you get a close representation, but that may not be exact, what I'm saying.
Yeah. I don't need like down to the last minion, just a ballpark range.
Yep. But like even their health we can change, right? So if I wanted it to be minions have 100 health, change a number on the server.
You can do that in
but-
game, can't you too?
You can with commands, but this is like a config when the game starts up and everything.
Yeah.
Okay. That should be the normal count of buildings for a team approximately on this map. And this is what I need to do my calculations, I think. In fact, let me just go and fly around, make sure I can't fit any more or anything. The farms I'm not going to care, we can have an infinite number of those, but the lumber yards, the mines are the interesting part. Okay, so now I'm going to, on the server that constantly is logging out what resource generations, number of units, etc., so that we can generate those charts. I'm just going to grab this and we'll pop it into an a file here. And the eco stats for blue is the one I want. Okay, so Well, let's get building stats for Blue too, because that'll tell me the numbers. And
Swim.
they don't try.
Um.
They drowned.
Yep, they all just drowned.
Found that out when I parked them in a farm once.
Huh.
They will just sit at the bottom of the farm and die.
I mean, there's pathways at both corners.
They trying to walk through the water, you're saying?
They just went straight through the water instead of over the bridge.
Cool, we need to change the AI. Want to put issue on GitHub? Minions are stupid, walk to
I'll
their
double check.
drown.
Maybe it's the way I commanded them, but they literally just all like perfectly just walked straight in and slowly floated to the bottom.
Cool. I think there's a different option for avoiding water, because I think zombies avoid water. Since they've made them.
Yeah, all the standard
drowns.
mobs avoid water unless they have to, I think.
Yeah.
But like, there's a bridge definitely within pathing range of these guys.
We've never had a water map, so. Other than the farms, they've got water in them. We don't. Well, I guess Oasis is a water map, but nobody's gotten near the water with it with a bunch of troops. So.
I mean, I could just put up fences.
We're gonna want a map with water though.
I just used it as like a somewhat natural forcing. Because the way it is, each bridge, there's 4 bridges, but they're between sections, so you have to go kind of near your enemy's section to get to the bridge. Sort of just promote conflict, I guess. Come here, buggers.
Okay, so the logger. Where are you? Building stats.
Oh.
Box.
It looks like they're just pushing each other over the edge.
They can't push each other. If you got the current version of the mod, they can't push each other.
Okay. I'm not on that.
Oh, okay. Hi, Zach.
Hello. How is everything going?
Good, but the other guys in here finding all sorts of bugs, like the minions would drown themselves.
Oh.
I mean, I knew they drowned themselves, but I didn't know they would purposely walk through water instead of a bridge.
Huh.
Oh,
I also
sick.
put these golems on teams that aren't the same team as the minions, and they're just taking it.
You added another team? That's gonna cause a problem.
No, I called them red, yellow, blue, and green. So
Oh,
this
you put them
golem's
on the
yellow.
minions team. Okay.
No, this is a yellow team golem, and it even has a yellow border around it, like I think that you've said it.
Yeah.
And the minions just walk up to him, and the golem just slaps the shit out of him, and they don't attack him.
Wow.
I don't know, because you said that they attacked the golem.
They did. No, the golem attacked them.
Yeah, so they didn't attack back?
No, not until you would command them.
Okay, let me try again then. I commanded them near him, but not like on top of him.
Like if he attacked first, they would return fire, kind of thing. If they survived it, because they have an AI that's basically to return the hostility. Yeah.
Just like his, pretty much.
Yeah, exactly. His towards the player is don't attack unless you're attacked.
Okay, if I click on him, they'll attack him.
Yeah.
I want to see if they attack a golem that is on the same team as them, though. I don't think they will.
Okay, so this should give me my stats I'm after.
Sure.
And I paste this into here, I hope. It'll automatically parse it out. And it doesn't. Where's text columns?
Also, this is a pretty strong golem.
Okay.
He's got regen, too, so if you don't kill him in the first fight, he will regenerate. He really is kind of a raid boss. I do think having a health bar for him, though, would be nice, so I might try to get that working.
gonna be in top of the bar that I have at the top, probably though.
You could put in, I forget what the mod is that puts health bars above entities.
Yeah, but I don't want to add other mods that could crash things, and there's a good chance that
Fair enough.
I was considering adding, instead of the glowing effect, a bar above them, but I don't know if I'm gonna do that or not. I was just thinking about it today because when
It's
you have
extra
them
rendering too, probably.
when you have them selected, your frame rate will go down because the glowing effect in Minecraft actually has a performance hit because it's basically rendering every mob twice.
Yep.
Fire, our game earlier today was pretty long, wasn't it? Or Zach, if you're there.
It was
Like an hour or two?
long.
Hour and a half?
Yeah,
I
they're
don't-
just walking straight through the water.
I don't feel like
Okay,
it was
but
like
they don't attack the
hour and a
golem on
half.
their team. Alright, cool. So this works just like I envisioned it.
I'll just say an hour or so. It's easy as asking.
yeah.
So basically, there's one boss golem which spawns in the middle at the beginning of the game. If you kill him, you get 4 spawn eggs, just because there's no way to give you a spawn egg that changes based on your team. So like, if I'm blue team and I kill the golem, I'll then get the blue spawn egg, and I can put the blue spawn egg and have a friendly blue golem that'll fight for me.
So he does obey the teams then. So if
Yes. So
If
the
he's
blue
on yellow
bottom
team, he
minions
won't
will
attack-
not attack my blue golem that I put down.
okay,
They won't even move towards him.
Well,
But
your
if I
minions
click on
won't
the yellow
attack.
one,
but will
Yeah.
the golem attack the minions?
the golem does attack the minions because the red and yellow ones are beating the hell out of the blue minions. Just even if they're near them.
But the blue minion doesn't, or blue golem doesn't attack the blue minion. You're just saying.
No, he just walks around
Okay.
them.
That's cool.
Yep.
Definitely be careful about accidentally adding a new team.
No,
The
yeah, I
game
made
is
them all
very
yellow, red,
specifically
green.
looking for 4 teams to be set up, and if there's a fit,
They've all got the
it might
colored
go
borders
wrong.
too, which I didn't put in their NBT data. So I'm pretty sure that's as intended. It even changes the text on their name, which is nice.
Okay, so we had 10 farms, which I'm not even going to consider that one, but 16 lumber yards, 5 diamond, 5 gold, 10
It'd
iron,
be really funny if the
26
golem
stone.
obeyed commands.
So how am I going to keep this up? Let's just do this. We're going to insert one column to the left. I guess we can just do this. Map name, green fields, 1 section, stat name. There we go. So that's all we care about. Bye, fiery.
The green golem wandered over my barracks and is now proceeding to demolish my team.
5 diamond. 26. So we need to multiply the 1 by 26 basically, so let's create a row above. Call it typical game stats, or game typical generators. So we'll just call this like 50. And lumber yards was what? G9, there it is. Lumber yards 16. Stone 26. Iron 10 and 5/5. Okay, so now we can take the P5 is the town hall one, so we need to multiply the other number there. times that figure. And we want to make the 2 static so it doesn't update there. And we can pull this down.
If I spawn a minion, what team does he spawn on?
If you just do /summon, it will
I
not
do
spawn on a team, but he will have a yellow appearance.
Okay. I don't remember how to set the team when I spawn.
Barracks is the way to set the team.
Yep.
You can /team join yourself to change teams. So this one should be times that. Streaming spreadsheets. But it's important. And I'm not even gonna bother with emeralds. Okay. Awesome. This should be J. And K. L. M. And N. Okay, so that means we need to reformat this. So it all fits, come on. The max takes 5 minutes still. So a barracks, on average, will take up to a whole 0.7 minutes to make another barracks. Wow. So if you're producing everything at what I'm going to call the standard production rate for the Greenfields map, meaning that you've got down a lot of farms, 16 lumber yards, 26 stone, 10 iron, 5 gold, and 5 diamonds, which is kind of like the max you can get for diamonds for sure. Probably the same for gold. It will take you, with that production rate, 5 minutes. No, less than a minute to get enough of all of the resources you need with your town hall there as well. That's why we can spam them. Because 10 minutes into the game, you can put down 10.
Put down 10 what?
Barracks.
Oh.
They're just so cheap for the resource production rates that we have. And the biggest cost on that is the iron. Because a barracks cost 29 iron, and the rate of production for iron is pretty low. So you only have 10 iron production down, or possible. 10 times, is that right? Hey, fire.
Hello.
Yeah, 10 times 4. Well, let's make sure that rate of production is correct based on the server, because that feels a little long to me. So let's make sure that these values are correct here. Discard local file and download new for editing. Okay. Resource generation rates. Town Hall does 555, whatever. Food is 5. Iron is 4, so that is correct. Gold is 4. Stone is 4. Wood is 7. And diamonds is 2. And I must have missed something. Where's the 7? Oh, it's the wood, okay. So those are the right numbers. So Fire, by my math, if you've placed down all of your buildings, it'll take you less than 1 minute to be able to build another barracks if you had 0 resources to start with. You wait 0.7 minutes and you will be able to place another barracks and another and another and another. Not considering any starting resources, just off your production alone.
Huh.
Everything is too cheap.
That's crazy.
So in 10 minutes you can have 7. Am I doing that right? No, I'm not. Oops. Calculator. 10 times 0.71. Yeah, you can have 7 of them. That number sounds low, but I think it's partially because we're building up to that, and the whole time we're saving stuff. Like, you're getting extra food, for example. Maybe it's because the food is so high. But lumber's second on the cost of that. So if we only had down, say, 20 farms, it doesn't change the numbers any. It still takes 0.7. What if we had like 8 iron? Then it takes 0.8 minutes. It's all based on iron right now. Interesting. Well, this gives me a starting place to consider what the cost should be. I think if I increase the cost of something like the barracks so that we can't spam it, then I should increase the starting resources as well. So that you have the ability to get a barracks down to begin with, and some resource production buildings without... I don't want to make the starting part of the game take 20 minutes before you can start producing things. It just doesn't make any sense. It's the... I don't want you to have 15 of them in 5 minutes, right? Type of thing I want to stop.
Right.
I don't know. What do you guys think about that? You played earlier with the population cap. Do we need to limit barracks still? Because it felt like before that spamming barracks is cheaty, but I don't know. Maybe it's not now that you can't get too many units. If barracks takes 0.7 minutes, then you can make 14 in 10 minutes, not 7. Was I doing that wrong? This would be 10 minutes divided by 0.71, right? 10 minutes is your total time. Divide that by 0.71. Yeah, you're right, it's 14. And that's more in line with what we were actually saying. You could get barracks so fast. And thank you for coming in here just to say that.
When we were playing earlier, I felt like when I went to go attack you, or well, first when I went to go to take that gold from you in that extra area, I just sent over a couple of my troops just to go do that, and then I went over and attacked you. And when I went and did that, like, I just had troops still queued And when Fiery went to go attack me, I didn't have to worry about my base at all because I had like tons and tons of troops just sitting at my base because they were being like made from the barracks and all that. Which in the time that it took me to like fully destroy your base, I basically had all my troops back to max capacity again.
Yeah.
And I feel like when you're away from your base and you don't have any defenses, like you don't leave troops there, that
shouldn't
should
be able
leave
to
you
crank them out.
vulnerable. That should leave you vulnerable to getting attacked instead of just like troops being cranked out because you have tons and tons of these bases or these barracks just spawning in troops.
So you're in favor of having lots of barracks? Less barracks.
I'm less barracks, yes.
Okay.
I feel like having less barracks would definitely make it so that you're not just invincible while everyone else goes off, while you take your army off and attack.
But that's the thing with this population cap. If you're at the cap, meaning that if it was a 4-way game and everybody had a cap of 300, I just had another idea. I'm sorry. I need to write this down before I forget. I want to tell you guys that idea in a minute. But so if you are at the cap and you had 300 and you took all 300 with you, it doesn't matter how many barracks you're going to have. You're not going to have any troops there until your guys start dying. And then it's a matter of the more barracks you have, the faster it replenishes.
Yes. And because I had so many barracks down and archery ranges, I didn't have to worry about my base or leave a couple soldiers there, because right when they died from your troops or from you, then those guys would spawn right back in, and basically I'd have as many as I'd lost just sitting there waiting for Fiery to try and come in and take over my base.
Right. And
the only reason why I had so many there was because of how many barracks I had.
But did you have so many barracks because you'd spent all your resources on the barracks? You didn't. You had a crap ton of extra resources that didn't involve the barracks cost. So like if I look at this, the barracks cost 11 gold. That'll hurt you from troop production of advanced units like pikemen, but not from minions. Like you could just crank out minions all day and place down as many barracks as you want, because there's no cost to them really. Like barracks are dirt cheap. So like if I doubled the cost of this to 88, 70, whatever that is, 70 something and 60 something and 22, are you even going to feel it? Probably not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's
what I'm getting at. And it's about making it so that you don't have thousands of resources at the end of a game. Not that that's necessarily bad, but every other RTS I've played, if you have an excess of resources for the majority of the game, you're playing the game wrong.
Yeah.
And I think it's just an indication that we have it balanced wrong right now. Like, once you're started, and this map is a definite, probably an exception, because the entire field's green, right? It's grass.
Yeah.
But once you're started, you never have to worry about food again, because you can plop down 20, 30, 40, 50 farms and be good. Lumber we used to be limited on, and it felt like it was actually a thing that would matter when someone comes and attacks you and takes out your lumberyard. It's not a thing. When we're playing, I don't bother attacking lumberyards because I know you have enough lumber. You're not hurting for lumber. I go attack your gold. I go attack maybe your iron. I'll go attack your diamonds to stop research. I don't attack stone. I don't attack wood. I don't attack food. Hey, CZ. We're talking about cost of things and how we should make it. And I'm not disagreeing with you, Zach. I think it's okay to have multiple barracks. I don't think it's okay that they're cheap to make multiple barracks. That's all I'm trying to get at.
You're not trying to put a limit on how many barracks you're gonna place down. You're trying to put on a limit.
I'm trying to
how fast you can place them down.
How fast you can place them down, because there's like if I come attack you, there's no penalty for you losing a barracks because they're so cheap. Like you place one down immediately as soon as it despawns the old one.
Yeah, that's exactly what you did to me. You came, you destroyed my barracks, and then you left, or you didn't do anything after that.
Yeah. And
that didn't really put me in that much of a detriment.
Yep.
It just made me have to place down another one to actually get more, like, troops to spawn.
Yeah, all it did was spent some of your time. It didn't spend any of your resources, really. Not in a number that would be felt by the time you have set up.
What if you made it so that you could have only X number of troop production buildings permanently? As in, if you lose one of your troop production things, you lose
permanently. Like you're only allowed to buy 5.
Right.
Ooh, that's a whole different thing. It would make for much shorter matches.
You could make it so that you could have 15 available, but have people only put down like 3 or 4 at a time so that they can have a couple in reserve in case those get destroyed. It'll keep people from spamming them in the front lines.
I get where you're going with that. I just don't know that I like it because we don't know all the maps that could be made from... You know what I'm saying? Like, there might be maps where maybe you need barracks so at 3 different entrances to your base.
Well...
You know what I'm saying?
Maybe the time has come to make it so that you can pick stuff back up.
No. That's incredibly difficult. I
don't know. I was just throwing that there.
I think it's too limiting to different people's play styles, and it could limit their strategy. This is what my main hang up is, right? Like I like the infinite flexibility that we have right now. Like you can do whatever, but there should be penalties for things, and there's no penalty for losing a barracks. What you're saying is a big penalty for losing a barracks, though, because you know what my first thought is? Okay, I rush. I be the guy that goes out and takes out the other guy's barracks because then he loses his barracks and can't place another one down, and then I can outproduce him. The first guy to lose a barracks is the guy that's going to lose the game because you can't keep the army numbers up then. Forget the population cap, it's replenishing the population cap. That's the problem then.
Yeah.
Versus he can't afford it, which is a completely different thing. Had he played differently and gotten his resources faster or gotten another resource area, like when I went over and got another resource area and then Zach took it back over, that's the kind of mechanics that this game should have, I think. Because it's strategically taking sections of land or holding on to them that's making you win or lose the game. Okay, guys, I don't know that this is a thing we're going to solve tonight necessarily. I just wanted to talk about it a bit. CZ, I did add another section to our spreadsheet if you're still out there. The Buildings and Structure tab now has a section here on AH through AN where it's calculating basically the time that it will take to produce that, or the number of RTS ticks, that's what it is. Number of RTS ticks that it takes to produce this building for that given resource. So this one, it takes 0.4 RTS ticks to build this because we can get enough food. And I'm just got some numbers up here across the top. Lumber through diamond is accurate for this map, the Greenfields map. I went in and just placed down as many buildings as I could and got the building stats from the game. To say this is how many lumber yards we could have, theoretically. and this is how many iron and all that stuff. So they're rough numbers for a real game for what we're trying to balance against, and it calculates out how much time RTS takes that lumber would take. And then this over here is a max, right? So when I looked at barracks, it takes less than a minute. It takes 0.71 minutes. Oh wait, that's the minutes to forward over here. No, it takes 0.12 minutes. I was looking at the wrong column. It wasn't even divided by 60. Oh my gosh. It's worse. It takes 0.12 minutes to get a barracks. So in 10 minutes time, divide that by 0.12, we could have 83 barracks that we could place down. Way too fast. Okay, Susie, I'll try that. I'm gonna stop the stream, guys. Thanks for stopping by, everybody. Hello, everybody that's new. Subscribe if you haven't already, so you know when I stream next time, or join our Discord. I usually announce when I'm streaming in there. Bye! Oh, and if anybody wants to be a playtester, in the general chat, I put a message about being a playtester. Let me know, and you can get added to the role to be notified when we're playtesting. See if you can get selected into the playlist. Bye!